Ever whispered to yourself, when does this darkness finally break? When will that narcissist, the one who spun you a dazzling dream only to rip it apart without a second thought, truly vanish from your life? No more late-night texts slinking through the shadows, no more hollow vows bitter as poison on your tongue, no more haunting echo rattling your mind like a broken song no one wants to hear. I know that ache, that razor-thin line between fragile hope and a crumbling abyss, wondering if this time might just be the end. Welcome to the unraveling of a mystery, the last goodbye. This isn't some sugar-coated fairy tale straight out of Hollywood's playbook. This is life, unfiltered, where narcissists slink around like foxes draped in angels' wings, and you're the one who gets to write the final scene. I'm not just here to expose their game. I'm handing you the torch to burn down the chains that have held you back. Stay with me to the very end, because a truth is coming, a gut-punch revelation that could flip every toxic relationship you've ever endured upside down. It's not just about them walking out, it's about you rising up, reclaiming your fire, and turning your scars into badges of honor. Are you ready? Take a deep breath, because we're about to charge into battle, not to fight them, but to fight for you. This isn't just a story, it's a reckoning, a spark, and a lifeline woven into one. The stage is set, the spotlight's on. Let's tear down the curtain and step into your power, right here, right now. Let me paint you a story, a vivid snapshot of pain where you might just catch a glimpse of yourself. Picture me as Anna, a girl who once thought she'd grasped the blazing light of love. He stormed into my life like a summer hurricane, fierce, intoxicating, sweeping me into a whirlwind of promises as sweet as honey. Every glance from him whispered that I was the center of the universe. Every touch a symphony that set my heart ablaze. I felt like a muse in a flawless masterpiece, until the colors started to bleed. Then one day that light snuffed out. He didn't leave. No, that would have been too kind for someone like him. Instead, he turned me into a shadow, a forgotten trinket on the shelf, only picked up when he needed someone to blame, something to soothe his bloated ego. I watched him laugh with others while I stood there wondering, what did I do wrong? His words, sharp as knives, slashed at my self-worth, cut by cut, until I couldn't recognize the face staring back in the mirror. I'd been a flame once, but now I was just ashes, cold, useless, abandoned. And then the moment came, the day he swung open that invisible door, not to set me free, but to trade me in for a shinier, newer toy, one that gleamed brighter, obeyed better. I stood there, heart shattered, watching him walk away without a backward glance. But the real gut punch wasn't his exit. It was the gnawing doubt eating me alive. Will he come back? Is this really the end? I was trapped in a quicksand of false hope, waiting for a final note that never played. Do you see yourself in this tale? A caged bird, a smothered flame, a heart wrung dry? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your voice, because I know you're not alone in this ache. Anna in my story isn't alone. Thousands others get sucked into that same vortex, and to figure out why she, or maybe even you, ended up there, we've got to peel back every layer of the narcissistic cycle, each phase built to manipulate and destroy. Phase 1. Deceptive paradise. When you're prey in their hunt, picture yourself thrown into a blinding arena. That's where this nightmare kicks off. They turn you into the juiciest prey, and you feel it in every calculated glance, every sickeningly sweet word hitting you like a drug. This is the love-bombing phase. They bombard you with cheap promises, relentless texts like a blitzkrieg, performances that trick you into thinking you're the center of their world. They don't care who you are, they just need you to bite. Don't kid yourself that this is love, it's a hunt, and you're the naive deer in their crosshairs. I've seen too many people shredded apart, all because they bought into that fake glow. Phase 2. Shattered in shadows. When they start tearing you down, then the spotlight explodes, not fast, but slow, like a rusty blade sinking in deep. the devaluation phase begins, and it's crueler than you can imagine. No more coddling, now it's verbal punches. You're so stupid. I thought you'd be better than this. You watch them charm the crowd, playing perfect out there, while you're shoved into a corner, asking, "What did I do to deserve this?" They don't just make you doubt, they make you hate yourself, breaking you down so they can keep you leashed. I knew someone whose narcissist told her she was so worthless no one would notice her, and she believed it. This isn't a game, it's a deliberate demolition job. Phase 3. Discard. Cold as ice. When you're just trash to them. Next comes the bone-chilling discard phase. Don't expect a proper goodbye. They don't have the guts. Instead, they let you rot in brutal apathy. You're no longer a lover, a friend, anything. You're a busted ATM, a relic they forgot to toss. No texts, no contact, just dead-eyed stares and an attitude like you're invisible. A friend once told me her guy played video games right in front of her while she screamed in tears. He didn't even flinch. They only circle back when they need a punching bag or someone to clean up their mess. When your use runs dry, you're no better than an empty can kicked down the street. That's the harsh reality. Phase 4. Toxic loop. When they jerk you back like a puppet. But it doesn't end there. They've got the Hoover trick to drag you back into hell. When their new supply runs out, they dangle tempting bait. "I can't live without you," or a hollow apology you know is fake but crave to believe. I saw a guy flood my friend with sappy texts after his new fling dumped him, only to ghost her again once he snagged fresh prey. They don't return for you, they return because they're starving for attention, because you're the cheap lifeboats they keep stashed. This is their death spiral: flattery, destruction, discard, pull back. A trap you'll stay snared in unless you cut the strings. Why do they do it? Because you're not human to them. You're fuel for their diseased ego, a battery they drain and ditch. They don't love, don't regret, they just win, and you're a pawn in their game. I've seen people ruined by this cycle, but I've also seen them rise from the ashes once they faced the truth. This isn't your destiny, it's your forging fire. See through every lie, from the stage sweetness to the icy cruelty, and you'll find the way out. Ask yourself, I'm worth more than this hell, right? Damn right. You weren't born to be prey for someone who only devours themselves. So, is there such a thing as a final discard, that day when the narcissist walks out of your life for good, never again knocking on your soul with their lies or haunting you with their toxic shadow? I know you're dying for that answer, a clean break to slam shut this book of pain. But here's the brutal truth you've got to face. Nothing's guaranteed. They might vanish today, but tomorrow, when their hunger for power and attention flares up, they'll slink back like a predator sniffing blood. I've seen this play out too many times, and it's never as pretty as you wish it'd be. They don't leave because they're done with you. They leave when they snag a juicier supply. Think of it like a junkie. When they've got their fix from someone else, you're just trash, not worth a second glance. I knew a girl, Lisa, who got dumped hard by her narcissistic boyfriend when he latched onto a richer chick. He didn't look back. No texts, no explanation, just a cold, dead silence. But then, when that new girl wised up and kicked him to the curb, guess who got a 2 a.m. call? Lisa. That wasn't love, it was a desperate addict scrambling for a hit. So, what makes a discard final? Sometimes it's when they jump ship to a whole new game, a different world, a fresh crowd, a territory where you're not even a blip on their radar. I recall a guy named Mike who ditched his ex, moved to a new city and hooked up with a flashier, wealthier crew. He didn't come back, not because he grew a heart, but because he'd struck a new gold mine to bleed dry. Don't fool yourself into thinking they'll stay put forever, though. When that mine runs out, they'll hunt again, and you could still be the old prey they target. The scariest part isn't them leaving, it's you waiting for them to return. I've watched people get trapped in this mental cage, every phone buzz a jolt to the heart, every random text a dumb spark of hope that this time they'll be different. They won't be. They never are. Lisa told me she lost sleep for months, only to realize he called because he needed cash, not her. The truth is, the final discard isn't final until one of two things happens. They die, or you bolt the door to your heart shut. And here's your only way out. You've got to end it yourself. Don't sit there waiting for them to hand you freedom. They don't have that power, and they don't give a damn. The final discard becomes real when you stand up, erase their stain, and build a life they can't touch. Picture yourself as an unbreakable fortress. No text can breach your walls. No sweet talk can crack your steel. I saw this in a friend. After years of torment, she cut all ties, found real love, and now that narcissist is just a faint smudge in her rear view. You can do it too, but you've got to choose it today. Ever wonder why you keep waiting for them to leave, to change, for an ending that never comes? Enough! The final discard isn't some gift they'll hand you. It's a fire you've got to ignite yourself. They don't steer this story, you do. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but to break free from the hell a narcissist weaves, you've got to grab the wheel, slam the gas, and burn rubber out of their shadow. This isn't a fantasy. It's a fight to reclaim you. Picture your life as an iron fortress. No one gets in unless you swing the gate wide. Narcissists don't hold the key. They just bang on the door when they're starving, and you're the fool if you keep letting them in. I watched a friend, Sarah, do it over and over. The guy ditched her, then crawled back with honeyed lies, "I need you," only to vanish when he snagged fresher prey. But one day Sarah locked the gate. No replies, no calls, no crack for him to slither through. The payoff? She rebuilt her life, found real love, and now he's just a faded stain in her past. You can do it too, but you've got to act, not wait. So why do they come back to Hoover? Don't delude yourself into thinking it's love or regret, no. It's because they're junkies for attention, and you're the easiest fix when their new supply runs dry. They don't return for your heart. They return because their bloated ego's starving, because you're the puppet they've yanked around before. I knew a guy, Tom. He texted his ex after his latest fling dumped him, swearing, "You're everything to me." She said no, and he moved on to the next target faster than you can blink. The raw truth? They don't need you. They need anyone who'll bow to them. You're not special. You're just the closest option when they're desperate. They hoover because they know you've been weak. You've fallen for their sweet talk. Let them crush your self-worth. But that's the old you. Now, you can forge yourself into a steel wall. No fake apologies can pierce it. No promises can shake it. I saw this in someone I know. She used to sob when her narcissist came back, begging forgiveness, but she learned to cut him off. She deleted his number, blocked him cold, and torched every bridge he'd used to control her. Result? He's got no way back, and she's found real peace. You don't need to wait for them to walk away. You can kick them out of your life today. Here's the deal. Every time you refuse to open that door, you reclaim a piece of your power. Every text you delete unread, you stack another brick in your shield. This isn't about waiting for miracles. It's about real moves to seize the life you deserve. I won't lie, it takes guts. It means facing the fear they never change. But they don't have to. You do. Today, try it. Block a number, erase a memory, take one small step to snap the chains they've bound you with. You're stronger than you know. Today, try it. Block a number, erase a memory, take one small step to snap the chains they've bound you with. You're stronger than you know. The final discard is in your hands, not theirs. They can pound on your door till their fists bleed, but if you don't budge, they're nothing. This is the unshakable truth. You write the end of this story, and it'll be a damn triumph if you stand up right now. Start with one small but mighty move. Drop a 1 in the comments below this video. It's not just a pledge to yourself, it's a reminder for every time you waver, a signal that you're not alone. This community will stand with you, turning your pain into power. Do it today. That 1 is your first step to declare, "I choose me." Are you ready to make the final discard real, not some distant dream, but a victory you can seize today? As a psychology expert, I'm telling you, this isn't just about ending a relationship. It's a revolution to reclaim yourself from the grip of someone who's held your soul hostage too long. The narcissist isn't your fate. They're the test to unlock your true power. Stand up, because psychology proves you can own this story. First, know your enemy. That's how you win. Dr. Ramani Devasula, a leading narcissist expert, nails it. Narcissists don't love you, they love their reflection in your eyes. They don't come back because you're special, they come back because you mirror their warped ego. Stop reflecting and they lose their juice. I counseled a woman, Jane, who got hoovered dozens of times. When she learned to stonewall, no replies, no reactions, he faded away. Don't let them feed off you. Starve them of the emotional fuel they crave and watch them crumble. Next, build steel boundaries, not paper walls they can shred any time. Dr. Craig Malkin, author of Rethinking Narcissism, says it best. Boundaries aren't about changing them, they're about protecting you. No negotiating, no explaining, just do it. Block the number, delete the emails, shut down all contact. That's your no without a word. I recall a client, Mark, who did this after his narcissistic ex humiliated him publicly. He blocked her everywhere, and when she tried reaching through mutual friends, he didn't budge. She gave up, and Mark got his confidence back. Boundaries are your weapon. Wield them mercilessly. Don't just cut them off. Flood your life with what they can't touch. Dr. Kristin Neff, a self-compassion guru, puts it, when you love yourself, there's no room for takers. Invest in you, find joy in your work, connect with people who lift you up, turn pain into fuel. I worked with a guy, David, who channeled his hurt from a narcissistic breakup into running marathons. He said, I ran to prove I'm tougher than him. You can too. Make your life a fortress of joy they can't breach. Finally, accept they won't change, but you can. Dr. Sam Vaknin, a renowned narcissism psychologist, warns, hoping a narcissist wakes up is digging your own happiness's grave. Don't wait for their regret. They're incapable. Focus on your bold moves instead. I met a woman, Emily, who wasted a year waiting for an apology from a narcissist who betrayed her. When she realized he'd never shift, she cut him off and started over. Now, she's a therapist helping others break free. You don't need their permission to live. You need your own grit. Make the final discard real by acting today. Lock them out. Forge unbreakable boundaries and love yourself enough to leave no space for them. This isn't fluff. It's science, proven by people like Jane, Mark, David, and Emily. You're the warrior in this fight, and victory is yours if you dare to step up.